Okay, welcome back to my channel, Libra. This is just another quick read for you for the month of August. I did do one other one before, but I just want to continue on and let you know that these cards, in short, are looking amazing. The only thing that I do see that could be more of a challenge here seems to be around, I pulled a few other cards here over on the other side, which I'll pull those forward later. These ones seem to be revolving around relationship issues. So there is something there that's in some transformation that could be pulling at you in the month of August. But overall, me and my kitty cat will be giving you a little bit of a read here. And again, I'm a little bit tired doing this a little bit late tonight, so hopefully I can make some sense of it. Okay, so starting off, when we were looking at the Ace of Swords, of course, that is all about clarity, and that's really about getting pushing through in a particular situation, because the clarifier is the Strength card. So I feel during this time, this is where you have some advancement. This seems to be where you're able to create balance with the Justice card in the World. There is some kind of conclusive energy where a cycle is wrapping up, but it is going to be relying on your clarity of thought, relying on your clear judgment, and being able to push through and endure and be resilient through a situation. So again, when we think about the Ace of Swords, I mean, that is breaking away from all the things that, you know, kind of exhausted you. And so in some way you're resolving an old problem here, I feel, as well, because this is where you get new ideas, and there's, you know, new belief systems that might be challenged, or you have a better understanding. Something is coming through here to kind of break through some of the things that you've had adversity around. So again, it's clear thinking, it's getting rid of anything that wasn't allowing you to move forward. So it's kind of a breakthrough energy, really, when you get to the Ace of Swords. So it's getting over a situation, but I feel like it's strength through that adversity as well. And again, it's because you have been able to figure out something, be decisive about a particular situation. And again, I mean, the Ace of Swords is where you're being quite clever, and it is an energy that's fairly mental, like a mental energy. So you are having to counter whatever situation that you would be faced with the Strength card. Again, it's going to be through using a logical approach, or again, you know, your mental state is what's going to release the pressure or release the stress, release the pent-up emotions. Is going to be, you will have some kind of relief because of the way that you're thinking. When we get to the World card, again, I'll kind of go through all of this as well afterward, but this is just sort of the general energy out first here. When you get to the World card, I mean, this is a card of strong success or achievement, and a conclusive energy, and things moving in the direction of, you know, a new cycle, basically. So, you know, it can be acquiring justice in a situation, because you are here as well in the reading with the Justice card. But the World card is basically success in a particular area, and it seems like the success seems to be in around how you're balancing out the situation in the month of August. So you are coming out successfully achieving something in that particular area. So I feel like whatever you've had to let go or liberate yourself from, you know, you are able to do that because you are focused on your direction, the travel, the changes. Sorry, Kitty is putting himself out across the cards here, just trying to... Okay, anyway, so again, the World card does indicate that you are in a place where you're able to go on a trip, go on a holiday, something about something at a distance, or connecting with somebody at a distance. Because I do, whenever I see the World card as well as the Six of Swords, to me, that's where there is some kind of a journey taking place. The Sun card would also sort of fall into that, but I don't see that part here. But for the most part, I feel like you are kind of traveling abroad or speaking to somebody abroad, but there is somehow a connection to a fair, just situation where things are balancing out here because of this journey. So I don't feel like you have any blocks to your progress in a scenario here, because this is where you're actually able to balance out your emotions. And for some reason, as I say, I mean, when I'm looking at the lion here, that seems to stand out for me more than anything else. And normally I don't usually focus on things like that. Sorry, Kitty is going all over the cards again, mixing them up here. So, but again, when I see the World card, I mean, that really is an indicator to me that you have completed a cycle, or at least it's almost into that final stage of conclusion. Yeah, so World card, something is finishing off here. You're probably still going to be in the energy of it for the most part in the month of August. Not quite sure what the Justice card entirely is just yet, but I'll go through the other cards here and we'll sort of flesh it out. But it does indicate to me, like I said, some kind of imbalance that you were, or it implies an imbalance of some sort that was happening in the past. And it could even be around money. It could also be around a relationship. But I'm seeing a lot of energy that seems to be very big cards. So these are cards that indicate truth, balance, fairness, all of that, conclusion energy. And again, it's kind of accepting choices in a situation, you know, balance things out by using a level of negotiation, and all these qualities seem to be, you know, how you're reaching this end cycle. So anyway, the journey has come to a successful end here. Whatever this was, I feel like you are now in a place where, you know, whatever the challenge was that you were faced with, again, you're using a lot of fairness and logic and really keeping things balanced in the month of August. It makes you feel a lot more whole, I would say, because you're a lot more content within yourself when you reach a level of a conclusion card with the World and the Justice. So I feel like you're kind of coming out of something that made you feel like you were all over the place, or a little chaotic, spread thin, whatever that was. I feel like you're now moving into this more prosperous, abundant sort of feeling. There is some sense of a connection to, you know, those from the past, or childhood friends, or, you know, going back to a childhood place. Anything along that line seems to fall in with these cards. But again, I still feel like your emotions, all of those things, it's like mastery over yourself, mastery over your emotions, mastery over your finances. It's like you've reached some level of wholeness, again, based on a certain level of mastery, because these are really strong cards to have for Justice as well as an end cycle with the World. So I feel like that is a sense of really coming into your own, and it's sort of a natural feeling here where you're actually able to have balance in your relationships, a certain level of harmony. And it's not to say that you don't have harmonious relationships. It's just when you do have an unstable relationship, it does give me the indicator that you have the ability to push through and balance that out. Sorry, Kitty's mucking up my cards again here. But again, even with the World card, like I said, it's just a really powerful combination, because it's a period of ending an era of growth and evolution, as they say, with this kind of balance. Yeah, so it's having mastery over your own life here as well. But we do have the Two of Pentacles here, and that is a card, again, of really balancing things out. So we are talking about you being resourceful with your money, you being able to deal with things in a practical way. So Two of Pentacles, again, is still juggling your finances, but in a really abundant way, so that you're actually benefiting from it. So you're using your resources wisely, is what I would say there. Dividing your time up wisely, so that, you know, it feels like you actually have a very abundant holiday or abundant connection. Your finances look to be improving, or at least you've got more money to play with here, I would say, in the month of August. Again, whatever the sort, some of you it's going to ring true a little further out. Some of you might already be in that energy in July. You're not all making decisions on the same day, that kind of thing. But I just feel overall with the Two of Pentacles, there's careful management over your money, time, resources, all of that. And again, it's just you striking a really good balance on so many different fronts here. And again, even with the Empress, there could be a very strong maternal energy here that's coming through. Maybe there is another mother energy or something here that's relevant as well. But again, I just feel like you are able to kind of harmonize all of this, amalgamate everything together very well. So you might be still trying to balance something out here regarding a mother figure as well. So there might be something here to consider on that front. But I feel overall, the financial situation seems to be pretty complete, or looks pretty good here overall. So yeah, anyway, and then when we get down to the Magician card, of course, the Magician is the card of manifestation. So I feel like this is something that you've been manifesting for some time. It does seem to be a card where you can draw everything together to make something happen. So I feel like you're in that energy of, yes, you've made it happen for yourself. So in the month of August, the gift is coming through with the Ace of Cups, and it is emotionally satisfying. Again, the Magician is still that card of, you know, being able to create something, you know, out of nothing, or out of, you know, very limited resources here, but you seem to have been able to do it. Again, Magician is learning important skills, or taking all of those skills that you have learned and making good use of them. And again, I feel the universe is helping you out here with this Ace of Cups energy to bring something towards you that's, you know, quite satisfying. So there's an increase in terms of your happiness emotionally. There's an increase in terms of your finances, even though it may not be a significant amount, but that you seem to be using it in such an effective way here that it looks as though it's completing a cycle of some sort that, you know, is making you feel like it's abundance for you. It makes you feel settled and complete in some way. So whatever that is, empowerment in some way. When I get over to the card of the Four of Pentacles, that can be a card of sort of holding back on some of the resources here as well. But it can also be a card of victory. When that follows, to me, that's an indication that there is, you know, something that's going really well in your favor as far as finances. So something is coming through as more money than maybe you expected. But the Four of Pentacles does indicate that you have some kind of gain. You've mastered something here with the Four of Pentacles, because that's a pretty good card of being in control and balanced. It's all balanced. Everything seems to be balanced in the month of August, in terms of practicality and how you're going forward. And even with the Six of Wands, I mean, that's still a card of success in a particular area. It could also be drawing attention to yourself in some way. But it's also, to me, it's more of a victory card in this particular instance, where you're actually getting some kind of attention, maybe for finances. Something might be, you know, something that you, how should I put that? Sorry guys, a little bit tired when I do it late at night. But anyway, with the Six of Wands, it'd be more of a card of gaining attention through something that might be increasing your income here as well. But it is because there's a little bit of notoriety attached to it. So whatever that victory, success, or recognition is here, I do feel like you've persevered and something's paid off for you in terms of a goal that is oriented around money. So yeah, security, stability with that Four of Pentacles. Again, there's some, you might be hanging on to the money, or a little more reserved in how you are spending, that kind of thing. But it still feels like there's a lot of growth and abundance that's coming further ahead here as well. When I get to, there's progress that comes through with the Six of Swords. And again, there's also travel, but for some of you. But there is absolute progress and letting go of fear. And again, there's opportunities for growth and abundance, that kind of thing, especially when they're all so close together. And again, they're all really positive cards, but it feels like there is going to be a period of success and recognition and financial gain of some sort, like I said, because these are cards of progress. These are cards of, you know, strong goal-oriented cards as well. So August feels like you're not only gaining these deeper insights into your direction, but there's also opportunity for growth and abundance, and there's happiness that's attached to this. And I feel like, again, this is whatever the path ahead is here. I feel like you're in the energy of it already by August. I feel like there is a connection to friends, family, that kind of thing here that's coming through. And again, you know, this is where the ideas are being translated into action, because I normally don't see a lot of specifics into the cards unless it really, you know, stands out for me. And in this case, the monkey with the pentacle is standing out for me. So again, I feel like it's really practical energy and moving something forward. So I feel like there is something to be gained here in terms of finances by August. There is extra money here. The other cards that I did pull out here as well, my cat has kind of taken it upon himself to mix and match. So I'm just going to kind of roughly go through what was here, and hopefully it'll make some sense. Actually, what I'll do is maybe pull these up. Okay, so we'll just get right into the next ones here. So I did have the Page of Wands, and again, for some of you, this is going to resonate as a younger person. Could be child energy, doesn't have to be infant child, but I would say a younger person. Take it as it resonates, doesn't have to be a specific. I know some of the cards kind of, you know, indicate that this could be maybe child as in below 19, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I feel like in a more general way, this could be dealing with maybe even your own child because of this card over here. But when I see the Page of Wands, again, I'm just going to say younger person. There is also more energy that's coming through around more than one person that's youthful here, because we do have the Death card, and there's some kind of a transition of some sort with the Page of Cups. So emotionally, I feel like there is something that is starting here to change emotionally. Either at least there's a beginning entryway into this, and possibly with, again, a younger person. But whatever this transformation is, the other cards that followed, there's a lot of push-pull back and forth. So it doesn't feel like it's just on the threshold of moving into this direction. So this could be a younger person, as I said. Could be a romantic connection here as well, with maybe somebody who's younger than you are or whatever. Or maybe you're the young person. But either way, it just feels like there is going to be a lot of back and forth energy with that Page of Wands. It's still entry-level kind of transition or transformation with the Death card. But for the person, of course, that would be something quite significant. But for an onlooker, I would say that the Death card, and especially when it's between two pages, I would say really indicates that this is more of an understanding that someone is coming to, that is possibly where they're just starting to explore something within themselves. So, I mean, there's a sense of adventure when you get to the page, but it's almost like the exploration is, you know, going somewhere different, but also emotionally going somewhere different. So again, there's a bit of creativity and adventure in this space, but there's also that sense of something transforming within the person that is opening themselves up to a new adventure, as well as, you know, an emotional situation. So beginning entry cards, and again, even with the Page of Swords, still could be exploring, investigating, doing some research. Could be somebody is kind of watching as well. There's a lot of that energy there too. Kind of spying energy, I suppose, too. But when we get to the Five of Cups, there's an indicator here that this is a situation that has been emotionally, I don't want to say damaged, but because it's kind of between the two here, I would say there's been some kind of emotional damage of some sort here that somebody has had to contend with. There's some changes emotionally that are taking place with that Five of Cups. And again, it's still more than one five that comes out here, but I'll get to that here as well. So we did actually have the Sun card, and we also had, I'm just going to pull these through as well. The Sun card, the High Priestess, we have the Five of Pentacles. So again, kind of dealing with a lot of energy around, there's more than one five here. A lot of self-worth issues, some low emotional states. There is some positives coming through here again with the Knight of Cups, but there's also the energy of someone is pulled back and in reserve. So there's not a lot of momentum or energy that's coming from the other person. I would say that they are very in reserve, especially when I see the King of Swords coming out here in regards to this new beginning with the Ace of Wands. So I feel like they haven't quite decided yet how they want to maybe communicate with you. I feel like there's a certain energy of, I don't want to say indecisiveness specifically, but almost it's kind of a stalemate sort of energy with the Two of Swords. So I feel like there's still some things to be worked through, although there is some movement in the direction of, you know, more positivity, but it is about, you know, coming together and having to make a decision, but there's still that energy around conflict, not quite sure about what they want to do yet. There is sort of that sitting on the fence kind of energy, but Two of Swords also indicates that there is some level of almost ready to make a decision. So, as I said, I mean, it can be refusing to compromise as well, something along that line. Somebody doesn't really want to be pushed out of their comfort zone. There's kind of a message of a stalemate there. So they're kind of immobilized by something here. But there is something very positive coming through with the Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, the Wheel of Fortune is certainly, and with the Knight of Swords following that, there is going to be action taking place to move things ahead into a positive, more happier time frame. And certainly whatever the connections are here with this group of people, does seem to be more than one. It does feel like there is going to be some feelings of self-worth issues that do come to mind here, like I said, with the Five of Pentacles and that Five of Cups. But overall, things are moving in a more positive direction. Like I said, the Wheel of Fortune means there is something, some cycle as well, that's kind of finishing off here in the same way that the Wheel of Fortune, the same way that the world was coming to a conclusion here. But again, Wheel of Fortune is still playing out in much the same way. You've got some luck that's changing here for you and in this situation. So I feel like you have something to look forward to, because when we look over here with the High Priestess and the Sun, I mean, the Sun, you know, you're taking responsibility for your part of things here. I mean, that was coming out with the other cards that we had gone through. But again, you know, the Sun is all about radiating something of your highest good, is what's involved here with the High Priestess. So I mean, there's a lot of energy around kind of freeing yourself up, more optimistic time, warmer place that you might be visiting, a lot more vitality and all of that energy that goes with that. It's kind of a purification of something at a deeper level as well with the High Priestess, where, you know, it helps you to empower yourself, or the situation seems to be still a lot of things that are not quite clear on. Something is not quite clear yet, but it will soon be. So again, High Priestess still revolves around somebody who is kind of coming off a little bit mysterious, and I suspect it's this other person here, just because the Hermit energy was coming out that way as well, where somebody's kind of pulled back, not a lot of, because they're soul searching, you know. I think that they're still wrapped up in their head, dealing with some of their, you know, detached emotional sort of states here, because we did have ego sort of situations that were coming up, lack of ego, that kind of thing, insecurities. High Priestess again is still, you know, kind of hidden parts of a person's personality, working at the level of your deeper intuition here, and it certainly does speak to, you know, it's all of the queens, as I mentioned before, you know, wrapped up into the High Priestess. So I feel like this is somebody who is kind of realizing that they have something to offer. They have something, you know, that is kind of coming alive within them. So, you know, wherever there was a lack of insight, I feel like now it's starting to surface, but they're still stuck in the deeper levels of their awareness. So it's still more hidden knowledge yet. It hasn't really quite come through to be fully understood. But again, it's, you know, hidden parts of a personality, but it's also Cancer, water sign, very prevalent here as well for me. But it is somebody who is more of a teacher, or is being taught at a deeper level. And again, Spirit does come through in this particular situation, because this is a combination that's really strong and powerful. Anything that revolves around the High Priestess is really something that is, somebody is being awakened, I guess is the word I would use. Somebody's being awakened to, I don't want to say it's quite like the Judgment card, but it's like a secret part of themselves that they never realized that was really there. So it's bringing new life to them. It's bringing something back into a situation. So it's like a spiritual transformation is really, I guess, what I would say. It's like a spiritual transformation. So, you know, it's a deeper enlightenment where they actually have some form of deeper fulfillment. So even if there's a new area or travel or new space that the person finds themselves in, that could be the reason that opens up this space within them. So going from lack mindset to spiritual enlightenment, or at least seeing something differently, there's inner wisdom, which brings them or points them in the direction of more of a positive path. But it's internal growth either way. So that's what I would say is happening there, and it is likely to continue, because with that Hermit energy that was out there as well, it was more of a, there was wisdom here. So oh, there it was. The Hermit energy was the wisdom that was coming through. And again, you know, I feel like there's more people, more than one person that's involved here. A lot of youthful energy here as well. A lot of the pages that were coming through. So either way, that's more the relationship end of it. I would say that there is still working through that energy. I don't really see so much the healing. I feel like this is more the transformation that's starting to take place within the person. So anyway, that is what I would say is the direction of August. Is there's more of self-awareness for not just yourself, but also for whoever this significant person is in your life. But either way, a lot of internal growth, a lot of victories and happiness and balance and abundance. So again, and connections to the past, or a past area that you previously had known. So anyway, sorry guys, I'm a little tired when I did this reading today, but I just wanted to let you know that the cards looked amazing. And, you know, so keep moving forward, never give up, and we will check back and see what other energy is coming through for September.